If you've ever wondered how today's banking system got so insanely sophisticated, this video is specifically for you. And hey, if you're one of those people who actually wants to understand the real story behind the financial, show the like button, some love, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Because today, we are talking about a family that sat in Italy 600 years ago and literally wrote the rules for your credit card, your student loans, and your mortgage. This isn't just a history lesson. This is your wallet's origin story. Picture this. Florence, Italy, 1397. A guy named Giovanni di Becci de' Medici is sitting in his small banking office. He doesn't have computers, smartphones, or internet. But this dude designed a system that still controls every single American's bank account in 2024. Think about it. The late fees you pay on your credit card, the interest rate on your car loan, all of it came from one Italian family's brain. And here's the twist. They did all this when banking was illegal, when the church said charging interest was a sin. So how did they pull it off? How did they turn an illegal business into the world's most powerful industry? Look, today you think banking has always been this way. Withdraw cash from the ATM, send payments through Venmo, check your credit score. But that's not how it started. According to historian Tim Parks in his work on the Medici Bank, in 15th century Europe, moving money was chaotic, dangerous, and totally disorganized. If you needed to send money to another city, you literally traveled with gold coins, and bandits waited for you on the road. Before modern banking, financial security wasn't even a thing. And this directly affects you, because the system that gave you the ability to buy a house today, the system that gave you the option to start a business, it all started right here. So when you deposit your next paycheck, you're actually using a Medici invention. But the Medici's real genius wasn't that they made money. Nope. The real genius was that they bent the laws, outsmarted the church, and still stayed respectable. According to financial historian Raymond de Roover, the Medici invented a concept we now call the bill of exchange. Here's how it worked. If you needed to send money to London, you'd give the Medici Bank local currency in Florence. The Medici would give you a letter, a coded document. You'd take that letter to London, and the Medici branch there would pay you in local British currency. No gold coins, no risk, no bandits. Sounds simple, right? But here's the kicker. There was a tiny manipulation in that exchange rate. That manipulation was the interest, disguised. The church said interest was a sin? Fine, we won't charge interest. We'll just charge a currency conversion fee. Genius move, total finesse. And this was just the beginning. The Medici opened branches across Europe, from London to Bruges, Geneva to Venice. According to scholar Christopher Hibbert, by 1440, the Medici Bank had branches in over 10 major European cities, making it the first truly international financial network. For the first time in history, one family created borderless banking. When you do an international wire transfer today, it's directly inspired by this. But here's the suspense. The Medici didn't just do banking. They controlled politics, funded popes, financed wars, and quietly became the most powerful people on earth. Now it's time for the reveal. What the Medici did wasn't just financial innovation. According to historian Jacob Saul, the Medici popularized double-entry bookkeeping. That means recording every transaction in two places, debit and credit. Today this seems like basic accounting, but back then it was revolutionary. It meant that for the first time, a company had clear financial records. Investors could see where their money was going. Transparency arrived, trust grew, and the banking industry started becoming legitimate. But here's where it gets wild. The Medici designed this system for the Pope. Yeah, the Catholic Church. The church received donations from all over Europe. The Medici started managing the Pope's money, and in return, they secured the papal banking monopoly. According to Tim Parks, the Medici family literally became the Pope's personal bankers, which made them untouchable. No king, no rival could harm them because the church had their back. This strategy still exists today. Big banks form partnerships with governments, influence regulations, and become too big to fail. The Medici played this game 600 years ago. And one more thing. The Medici invested in art and culture. They funded Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Botticelli. Why? Because they understood that cultural influence lasts longer than financial power. Today, it's the same strategy. Big corporations invest in Super Bowl ads, sponsor celebrities, shape culture. The Medici made the Renaissance financially possible, and in return, their name became immortal. But here's the twist. The Medici Bank eventually failed. Yeah, you heard that right. According to Raymond de Roover's detailed study, by 1494, the Medici Bank had collapsed. Why? Because they focused on expansion, but not risk management. They gave loans to royal families who never repaid them. They didn't control their branches. Fraud increased, and internal mismanagement destroyed them. This is pretty emotional, because the family that built the world as most powerful financial institution could unfollow their own rules. And this is still relevant today. Remember the 2008 financial crisis? Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, they all made the same mistake. Overexpansion, risky loans, poor oversight. The Medici made this mistake 500 years ago, and we still didn't learn. It's a haunting reminder that no matter how sophisticated systems become, human greed and mismanagement never change. And this directly affects you, because when big banks fail, your savings, your jobs, your economy crashes. But here's the thing. The Medici system survived, even though they didn't. Their innovations, letters of credit, double-entry bookkeeping, international branches, they're all still used today. So on one hand, their empire fell, but on the other hand, their legacy cemented forever. It's bittersweet, right? They wrote the rules, but then became victims of those same rules. So now the question is this. If the Medici wrote the rules of banking, and then those rules destroyed them, are today's banks on the same path? Are we in the middle of a financial system that's taking risky bets in the name of innovation? And most importantly, are you ready for the next financial revolution? Because history repeats itself, only the players change. If you found this story fascinating, let me know in the comments which Medici strategy you think was the most genius. And if you want us to cover more financial history stories like this, subscribe to the channel and keep notifications on. Because in the next video, we're talking about the Rothschild family, who people blame in conspiracy theories, but the reality is way more twisted. See you in the next one.